Good afternoon, good night, depending on which part of the world you are watching this video from. First, I've got to apologize because my door might knock because I'm expecting a delivery. Now, just before I started this video, the door knocked. I thought it was a delivery. It was two people out there with all this black gear on and a mask, and it's so frustrating. They're asking me what utilities I'm using, what service provider. And I'm like, how dare you knock on my door for your own personal gain? They know that people are at home being held hostage, so they think they can just knock on people's doors. You waste your time. Like, I wanted to prepare myself for a video. I'm now bloody irritated because I've just got disturbed. Just so you can ask me, if my internet is down and what service provider I use. It is so irritating. Now I've got that out of the way. I had to talk to someone about it. It's so frustrating. But anyway, let's talk about the topic at hand, which is what makes women lose respect for men. And I don't think it's going to be what you think it is. But what it is that men try to fulfill the ideal man in a woman's mind. You might not think that they do, but a lot of men think that they know the type of man a woman wants. And they try to create the image of that man in that woman's mind. And usually they do it through deception. And because they've done it through deception and they get found out along the way, women lose respect. So the first thing is for men is not to try to be the ideal man that you feel women want in their lives. Because women's mind changes all the time. Half the time women don't even know the type of man they want. They know the qualities they want, but they don't necessarily know what package it's going to come into. So you could be trying to fulfill the ideal man based on what she's saying to you, and sometimes she doesn't even know within herself what the ideal man actually represents on paper. So we all know the kind of things that make women disrespect men. So we're going to switch it, and I'm going to share with you the kind of things okay, let's get out of the way the stuff that why women disrespect men. And that's when they lie, infidelity, if they come over as insecure, and that can take the form of abuse, it can take the form of possessiveness, it can take the form of chauvinism, it can take the form of egotistical, and it's a type of man who overcompensates. They tend to have no principles, no convictions, they're very dependent, very needy, very selfish, and they lack consideration. So that's, in a nutshell, the kind of things that will make a woman disrespect a man down the line, whether it's through sarcasm, whether it's through being short, whether it's being down and out rude, whether it's ignoring them, whether it's telling them that it's over without giving them an explanation. Whatever it is, those are the kind of traits that will pee women off and make them disrespect their man. So, with that out of the way, that being said, let's see how men command respect. Okay, type of men who command respect are the ones that are safe to be with. Now, when you're with a man, you don't want to feel, uneasy. You don't want to feel as though you can't feel safe in his company or safe in his hands or safe under his control, or hits the fan, you want to know that you feel quite safe and secure with your man. And that is why women make what seems like unreasonable demands. They want to feel safe. So if a man, for example, can't make you feel safe because they're not reliable, they're not dependable, you can't ask them to do anything and they do it, well, that's a kind of the same thing. But basically, you can't rely on them. They say they're going to do something and they don't do it. They say they're going to be somewhere and they're not there. They just talk off of their mouth. They just reel things off. They have no integrity. Their words don't match their actions. And so those kind of men, women don't feel safe with. There are some women who might still go there because for whatever reason. But when women have a man and they want to respect a man, they have to feel safe. They have to know that he's got their back. So that's the first thing. And they have to have integrity. Well, that's what I said. It's all a part of the same thing. Feeling safe is about having integrity. We don't want to hear you say, me, I got to come over later and you don't come. We don't want to hear you say, me, I got to fit that light bulb and you don't fix it. Or I'm gonna do that for you and you don't do it. We don't want to hear that kind of stuff because after a while it gets boring. Women lose patience. Once they lose patience, they lose respect. So integrity is a key word. As hard as it is to match your words with your actions, don't say anything that you can't match up, that you can't do. Don't promise to do something if you can't do it. Don't have in the back of your mind, oh, she won't know any different. If I attempt this, she won't know this or she won't know that. A lot of women, they protect men. And sometimes I think they protect them too much. When a man does a boss job and you look at it and you're kind of like, bloody hell, I could have done better myself. And that's it. Well, you like the job, man. See it look good. See, what you not do without me? And you're kind of thinking, you know what I mean? Those kind of things, you have to tell them the job is not good enough. As you should have told me, you can't paint or you can't fix the thing, and I would have got a professional. I would have preferred to have got a professional than to have to look at that. Now I'm going to have to go and pay someone to fix it. But no, we protect them. We protect their feelings. We protect their heart. And, well, a lot of women do. And they end up feeling as though that work is good enough. And then they probably go and tell their friend, boy, me go this lady yard, and I go paint her yard. And I just put a little paint on the wall and she happy with it. She glad. You know what I mean? And he goes away thinking that he's genuinely done a good job because he's pleased you. He'll now go and tell another woman, boy, me paint my woman yard, she happy. You don't have to be out and out rude. You can say that is not up to my standard. It's not good enough. Otherwise, if you're not telling a man the truth, how is he going to know? How is he going to develop? At least if you tell him the truth that, his work isn't adequate. He's not going to go off and tell somebody else he's doing a good job, is he? So, we have to have integrity. And if you can't do a job, don't feel shame. Just say, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. If you want to show me, if you want to go through the instructions with me, I'll try to do it. That's what men need to say. They need to admit when they're not proficient in certain areas. That's what you call integrity. Admitting. Don't take yourself so seriously. Don't feel, some people have too much pride and they're too embarrassed to say they can't do something. There's no sin in that. All you've got to do is admit, look, if a woman says to you, look, I want you to put a lock on the door, say, I've never done it before, babes. I'd love to do it, but I don't feel confident. If you want to help me go through the instructions, if you want to see how we can do it together, then that's fine. But I don't feel confident doing it on my own. Even if it's something basic, admit that you don't know how to do it, rather than do it, bosh it up, and then the woman has to pay twice. So it's about integrity, is about being honest, letting your words match your actions. So if you say you can do something, it means that you know from the bottom of your heart you're more than competent to do what you say you can do. You have the wherewithal to do it, you have the resources to do it. You're not going to say you can do it and then tell the woman that, oh, you know, me was going to do it for you, but me can't get the parts, or me can't get this, or me can't get that. Tell her up front, look, I'm going to do this for you, but I have to see if I get the parts first. If I can get the parts, I'll come back to you. And if I'll let you know, give her a time. I'll let you know within, say, a couple of days. It won't be more than a couple of days. I'll let you know what I found out about this thing that you want me to do. And then we can look into it to see whether or not you still want me to do it, or whether you want to get someone else to do it. That woman then knows where she stands with you. She then looks at you with respect, because she's going to say, boy, that is good that he's now allowed me to wait for him. I've got a time. I've got a choice that if he can't do it, I can look for someone else. She knows how to plan. She knows what she's doing. And it shows consideration on your part. So she doesn't have to kind of worry now, oh, is he? And then, of course, you better call her back in those 2 days that you say you're going to call her back. And you tell her whether or not you've been able to get the parts, whether you haven't been able to get the parts, whether you want to do it, or whether she should get somebody else to do it. But don't string people along. That's where you get disrespected. If you're honest and open, that commands respect. You wouldn't believe how much respect you can gain just by being upright, honest, and having integrity. So, and that's also about being trustworthy. It all falls into the same banner. If you admit your failings, and you talk about what you can do, and you do what you say you can do, you build up a trustworthy character. And that woman can start saying, yeah, this man, he's so honest, he's so upright, he's so trustworthy, he's an honourable man. And most men, they want to be respected, they want to be honourable, but they've picked up bad habits, and they've tried to get through life through manipulating women and lying and trying to impress her, when it has the opposite effect. And as a result, you find a lot of men, they're single, they blame it on the women, they say the women is bitter. I'm not saying there's no bitter women out there, of course there are. There's women I'm going to do a video on them and all in a minute. But my point is, for this particular video, women have been deceived, they've been manipulated, there's people out there, predators out there, just waiting to jump in. There's narcissists out there. And so women are wary. So to find a man who is honest is so refreshing, and it commands respect regardless of what it is. Okay? Even if you meet a woman and you're not sure about where the relationship is going, don't string her along. Say, I really like you, but I'm not sure where the relationship's going. I haven't reached there yet. But don't string her along and try to see what she's like, or that. Normally, you can tell whether you like somebody, and I admit some relationships you can grow. But for the most part, if you know in your heart you're not feeling it, just tell her. What can she do? You don't have to be cold and calculating. You can just say, I really thought that, my feelings would develop, but they haven't. So I think, for your sake and mine, I prefer to just, call it quits. If you feel she's okay as a friend, you can say as a friend. But I always think this friend thing is a waste of time. It usually fizzles out anyway. So, another way to gain respect is not to take yourself too seriously. You know, be willing to compromise, be willing to be flexible, be willing to, be able to accept feedback or even criticism. Some people are so sensitive. Some men are so sensitive. If you say anything about them, they're ready to jump up and they take it personally. But that could have a lot to do with their past, how people have treated them in their past. So, I'm just saying, for the men's point of view, try not to take things personally. Try to take things on the chin. Don't try to control your emotion and your state of mind. And if somebody criticizes you, don't take it too seriously. It's only their opinion. Remember, criticism is somebody else's opinion. And also, it can help you, if you are open and flexible, it can help you at least think about it. Is there any truth in that? If there is any truth in that, how can I improve? Likewise, when you get good feedback, you can kind of think, oh, I didn't realize that. Maybe I can do that a bit more. Or maybe I can investigate that area of my life a bit more to see if I can use it in some way. So positive and negative feedback are both helpful. And you have to have that sense of lightheartedness in order to accept it. And that's another quality. If a woman says something to a man and he doesn't get all defensive and jump up and ignorant and all them thing there, you kind of think, bloody hell, in their head, they're not going to say it out loud normally. I think, bloody hell, he's quite a nice guy, he's okay. Men who are tolerant, they gain respect. They think that they're not getting respect if they're tolerant, but they are, unless you've got I was going to say something, I just went right back in. Unless you've got a not very nice woman, right, then that's totally different. But hopefully you've got a decent woman in your life, and she will appreciate the fact that you can take feedback. Feedback doesn't always come out the way you would like it to come out. Sometimes, and especially in the UK, people are taught to be so polite and people become so fragile. So feedback and criticism isn't always going to come out the way you like it. But it's about taking it on the chin and looking into it and saying, yeah, okay, that's fine. I got feedback the other day, and one of my subscribers said that this wig makes me look like I'm one of those Buxton gal or something like that. But, that was a comment that I just took on the chin, because I know when I put on a wig, I like how I look. So I'm not putting on wigs to get endorsement or approval. I'm just putting them on because I feel like putting them on. So, but maybe if somebody had said, or if she had said, oh, maybe if you could speak a bit more clearer, or, maybe your presentation, the way you do your videos, you could put a bit more humor into it. Something like that I would take on board, but not my appearance, because I'm not selling my appearance and I'm not seeking endorsement. So what I'm saying is that likewise, men, when you get feedback, any kind of feedback, just look at it to see whether or not you think it is credible feedback you can work with, feedback that you want to work with, or whether it's just somebody's opinion and you can either say yay or nay. Okay, what else? Also, what's important for men to command respect is not to become complacent. A lot of men, and we're talking about men, you can say, oh yeah, women do it too. But a lot of men become complacent, especially when they get into a relationship. And I don't know why that is. It's almost like they give up. And I'm not saying they're supposed to run you down or, keep up, the passion 100%. But it's almost like they've spent their life trying to find someone. And then by the time they found them, it's like they're gone, oh, thank God that's over. I found her now. I don't have to do anything. I'm all right now. And then they're ready for, But the thing is that you need to keep up a certain amount of, activity and interest and passion. You don't just now you've reached a certain stage or you're in a relationship with your woman. You stop caring. You stop looking after yourself. It doesn't matter how you look. Why doesn't it? It should. So, another way of maintaining respect is to look good, smell good, still put on all that when you used to go out with a woman, with your cologne, your Aramis, your Paca Rabanne, whatever it is, obsession, whatever. You did a spray, fresh breath, you spray your breath, you clean your teeth. You know what I mean? You smell good. You look good. Down the line, you don't even bother put on any deodorant. No little cologne. When your woman come home, she can't even say you smell good. You smell nice. There's nothing better when a man smells good. So don't become complacent. Another way you can command respect is presenting yourself well. I'm not saying dress up to the nines, but present yourself well. Another one, which is a key one, is men will not command respect if they make excuses. Sometimes a man gets caught out and they've always got excuses. Excuses why they didn't do this, excuses why that didn't happen. Forget the excuses. Just be upfront. And if you've got integrity and you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, you don't need excuses. Only a poor workman uses excuses. They use their tools as excuses. So, no excuses. Just get on with it. A man who commands respect has an established mindset. They're focused. They put their mind on it. They do it. We've got there's a black man who runs a grocery shop called Riley's. And it started off being a little grocery shop in Luton Town Market. I like going to Luton sometimes. So Luton Town Market, you've got this little Riley's market shop, and it sells everything, green banana, yam, dasheen, all of that stuff. Everything from Jamaica. They even have the herb drinks and neem and all of that stuff, right? Started off with this little place. Then he's expanded it. Then he's opened up another shop somewhere else. And the other day, I saw him in another location in Sunday Park. He's setting up another shop. He's focused. This is what he's doing. He's providing a service and he's dedicated. He hasn't thought, well, I've got one shop. I'm happy. That's enough. He's not complacent. He's focused. He's improving himself and he's doing better. And so, it's a thing like that when you think about Levi Roots. He could have been happy in the carnival, selling his little sauce or whatever it was. But no, he decided, and it wouldn't be surprised if his woman was behind it. He decided, no, I'm going to go on Dragon's Den and see if they'll promote my products. It's about being focused, not just stopping and expecting somebody else to carry you. Some men, they have an idea and they expect the woman to do all the legwork. No, it's your dream. It's your dream. Yes, that dream is going to benefit both of you, but you have to have the impetus. You have to have the drive. You have to have the focus. You don't say, boy, me have this idea, me have this idea, and it's a good idea, me need some help with it. Your idea, work it out. I'm not saying, a woman can't come and supplement a little bit, but when you have the idea and you expect the woman to do all the legwork, that's not fair. And it doesn't become, you benefit from saying, oh yeah, it's your idea, and you've got somebody else doing all the work. You need to be diligent. And when you put in that effort, it means more, and you have more interest, and it's more likely to be successful because it's your dream. So stay focused and have that established mindset about what you want, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Self-sufficiency, self-reliance. Don't rely on anyone to build your dream for you. If somebody's around and somebody can assist you, then fine, it's a bonus. But don't depend on somebody else to fulfill your dream. That's how you command respect. So, and develop an ability to have a conversation calmly. Some men don't know how to do that. The slightest little bit of, raised tones, both tones raise, and there's not one that can calm down. It's better that the man calms down, in my opinion, because that will bring the woman down and let her rant and rave and rant and rave. And when she sees you're not reacting, she'll calm down. Vice versa. If the man is ranting and ranting and ranting and the woman is calm and quiet, he'll calm down. But a calm way of, and normally, I think if a man is talking to you calmly and, a woman even starts raising her voice and he says, we're both in the same room, baby. I forget too excited. That's cool. You'll find, it kind of mellows out. So calm discourse, that commands respect. Confidence and self-belief, like I said, you're confident in something and you have the self-belief to bring it through, whatever it is. Regardless of how small it is, you are determined to bring that through. Self-reliant, and like I said, self-sufficient. You're able to address your insecurities because we all have them. But it's about being aware of them. I don't know if men look at their insecurities as much as women do. But men do need to look at, why am I overreacting? Why am I oversensitive? Why am I running down this woman and she's not returning my calls? Why do I feel as though I've got to overcompensate? Ask yourself those questions. What has brought you to that stage? Why am I pushing away women? Why am I so aggressive to women? All of those things. Address your insecurities because they come from somewhere. And when you've addressed them, you'll find that you actually become a different person. And a person that someone can respect. So, what else have I got? Also, another thing is about not standing still. If you have something to do, rather than to defer, delay, procrastinate, whatever you want to call it, you move one step at a time. The more difficult it is, the more important it is that you take one step at a time. So what else is there? What time is it? My phones. I turn them off and there's one upstairs going off. Anyway, so don't stand still. Advance one step at a time. Set goals and fight to achieve them. Men must have hope even though the vision looks dismal. Faith and hope manifests goals. Yeah, some people, they lose faith in stuff, don't they? And once you lose faith, you just you don't want to continue. So you must have faith and you must have hope. Even, I think I have a saying, when everything looks bleak outside, if you have faith and hope, that will change your vision and your perception. No one wants a dreamer. women want a manifester, not somebody who's got these magnificent dreams and they haven't got the wherewithal to bring them off. There's nothing worse when a man says to you, oh, can I'm going to do this, I'm going to buy this. And you know they haven't got the wherewithal to do it. You don't want unrealistic dreams. We want to hear you're going to speak. Oh, yeah. And then if you are going to do something, there's nothing worse with a man say, oh, boy, I'm going to do this, You can't wait. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it never happens. Don't talk. Only after you have done it. That's when you can do it. That's when you can talk about it. Another way of commanding respect. Otherwise, you just sound like you're just mouthing off. Things get better when you stick with it. So I think I'm going to stop it there because that phone is not going to stop and it's distracting me. And so that's all for now. I hope you found these tips helpful. Bye-bye.